What if the job you have today doesn't exist in 5 years? Or here's a better question. What kind of work will still belong to humans when machines can do almost everything? There's a quiet anxiety creeping through offices, classrooms, and dinner tables. It's not just about losing jobs. It's about losing meaning, security, and purpose. We all want to know, where will I fit in a world run by AI? Because here's the truth. AI can do a lot, but it can't do everything. And if you understand what it can't replicate, you can build a career that lasts. In this video, we're diving into the heart of that question. The jobs that are future-proof, not because they're high-tech, but because they're deeply human. Stick with me. What you learn here might change how you see your career and your value. You can't automate empathy. You can train a chatbot to say, "That must be hard," but not to mean it. And people know the difference. Therapists, social workers, teachers, nurses. These aren't just jobs, they're lifelines. They're about trust, emotion, presence. Jobs that demand human connection are incredibly resistant to AI. Take Maya, a third-grade teacher in Chicago. She doesn't just teach multiplication. She notices when a student's smile is missing. She hears silence that's louder than words. Could AI give students quizzes and personalized content? Sure. But could it care? That's the irreplaceable part. AI can remix. It can copy. It can even surprise. But it doesn't have a why. Real creativity comes from experience. Pain, joy, longing, awe. A machine doesn't wrestle with heartbreak. It doesn't stand awestruck before a sunrise. But you do. And that's your power. From writers and filmmakers to game designers and marketers, the most valuable creators don't just make things. They make meaning. These aren't just careers. They're expressions of the human spirit. And that's something no algorithm can fake.
Every day, it seems, there's a new, bewildering or frightening story about AI in the news. How it's going to steal our jobs, spread internet fakery on a colossal scale, and generally take over the world. But what exactly is AI, artificial intelligence? And are the scare stories even true?
5 things you really need to know about AI. AI is as old as your grandparents.
So, the first thing to know is that AI has been around a lot longer than you might think. Its roots lie in an idea known as an artificial neural network from the 1940s. A neural network is a bit like a team of interconnected workers that learn to solve problems. Each time they come up with a possible solution, it's marked. If there's room for improvement, they adjust and change their connections. Over time, the network becomes more efficient. And technology powered by neural networks is all around us, right now. It suggests movies and music we might like. It recognises faces and objects when taking photos on smartphones, enabling features like facial recognition. It's heavily used by social media platforms to personalise our feeds. More recently, a form of AI known as generative AI is powering applications that can seemingly create new data. It can also power chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard, which give human-like responses to questions. These are getting better at interacting with us and seemingly more human-like. This can seem scary, but it's worth knowing.
AI loves clean data, neat variables, predictable patterns. But life is messy. That's why some of the most resilient careers are the ones where chaos is part of the job. Emergency responders, field engineers, entrepreneurs. These roles require split-second decisions in unstructured environments. Take Sarah, a nurse in an ER. One night, 5 patients came in at once. One's crashing, one's combative.
Why, you worthless hunk of junk? You want some of this, don't you? Yeah!
The others are waiting. The system's down. There's no script, no app, just Sarah. And she handles it. Not because she's programmed to, but because she feels it. These are the jobs where instinct, experience, and judgment matter more than code. Here's a dirty little secret. AI doesn't care about right or wrong. It optimizes. That's it. But many jobs require judgment. Not just choosing the best outcome, but the right one. Judges, journalists, doctors, civil rights lawyers. They don't just deal with facts, they weigh values. They balance truth, fairness, harm, and hope. When a doctor has to decide whether to keep fighting or let a patient go peacefully, there's no equation. When a reporter risks everything to expose corruption, it's not about metrics. It's about integrity, and no machine has that. You might think blue-collar jobs are more at risk, but many are actually safer. Why? Because the real world is unpredictable. Plumbers, electricians, chefs, hairstylists, they adapt on the fly. They solve problems with their hands and their heads, not just with data. Aaron, an electrician, walks into a house with outdated wiring, a hidden fault, and a nervous homeowner. He doesn't panic. He figures it out. That kind of physical intelligence, still way beyond what machines can do. No career is bulletproof, but people can be. Adaptability is a human superpower. Meet Jonah. He was a travel agent before the internet made that obsolete. Today, he designs virtual travel experiences. He didn't cling to a title, he chased a skill. He grew. He evolved. Lifelong learners see AI as a tool, not a threat. Here in The Guardian, the US and Qatar sign a defense and aviation deal, as Trump says of the Emir. "We just like each other," in a quote. This shows that humans have feelings and emotions that AI does not, and this gives us an advantage. Would you fly in a plane with no pilot? Would you let an AI choose whether to pull the plug on someone you love? Would you trust a robot to raise your child, write your vows, or defend you in court? These aren't hypotheticals. They're real questions. And when trust is on the line, we still turn to humans.
Who you are, and I would never fucking... Jesus Christ! Take it easy, everybody!
AI can translate a language. It can simulate a dance. But it doesn't know why a story is sacred or why that song heals grief. Culture isn't data. It's memory, emotion, ancestry. From tribal elders to master calligraphers, these people don't just work. They carry identity. No machine can do that.
First of all, let's look at the definition. To avoid confusion, we have to go back to the earliest and hence purest definition of AI from the time when it was first coined. The official idea and definition of AI was first coined by J. McCartney in 1955 at the Dartmouth Conference. Of course, there was plenty of research work done on AI by others such as Alan Turing before this, but what they were working on was an undefined field before 1955. Okay, so here's what McCarthy proposed. Quote, "Every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can in principle be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it. An attempt will be made to find out how to make machines use language, form abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans, and improve themselves."
AI can't feel or think.
If you ask ChatGPT a question like this one, why should we be concerned about AI? It does a pretty good job of providing a response that appears logical. And with that convincing human-like response, it's easy for us to believe it understands what it's saying, that it has feelings and motivations. It's understandable that we do this, but it's worth remembering, right now, AI can't think or feel, can't love or hate. ChatGPT and its counterparts are sophisticated sentence completion apps that analyse our patterns of communication and provide responses similar to the way humans would typically reply. A bit like a talking parrot. Which leads us to point number 3.
AI makes stuff up.
Chatbots can have an awkward relationship with the truth, technically known as AI hallucinations. You could also describe it as making stuff up. The core of the technology is a model that uses probability to predict the next word, sentence, or paragraph. It can generate seemingly plausible replies, but lacks the ability to assess truthfulness or the accuracy of its responses. So, anyone thinking of using chatbots to write content needs to be careful they're not incorporating credible-sounding BS.
In every economy, the most powerful currency is trust.
Tell them that I am now ascending to my Father and your Father, my God and your God.
AI can automate logistics, but it can't build a team, calm a room, lead a movement. Think of leaders you admire. They didn't just deliver results. They built belief. That's human work. People don't just want answers. They want meaning. Pastors, coaches, philosophers. They help us wrestle with life's biggest questions. AI can give facts, but it can't offer wisdom. When people are in crisis, they don't ask Alexa. They ask each other. So, what makes a job truly AI-proof? It's not about the tech. It's about the human. Jobs that center on connection, creativity, conscience, chaos. Ask yourself, what can only you do? What care can you give? What truth can you speak? What future can you lead? We are not obsolete. We are irreplaceable. If this resonated with you, share it. Leave a comment with the job you believe only humans can do. And subscribe, because we're building a future worth working for. Thanks so much for watching way to the end. It means a lot to us. My name is Derek, this is Xenonscope, and I'll see you in the next one.